Hello and welcome back to Away We Go. I'm Andrew.
I'm Kayla.
And on this episode, we will be doing a full review of our time in India. Now, in India, we spent a total of
2 weeks.
2 weeks. We visited
3 locations.
Right. And we saw quite a number of things. So in this episode, we will be reviewing everything from our financials to where we stayed, to what we did, and our favorites along the way, as well as scoring our time in India. So join us as we go through them all.
First up, Andrew's going to take us through the financials, everything that we spent on food, accommodation, everything that we did, and all that fun stuff.
So India was, to some extent, a little bit cheaper than, I guess, the other countries that we've been to, especially some of the European countries. But I think there's a few areas that it did get a little bit out of hand, and we'll talk a little bit about that. It was our second cheapest country so far.
Ooh.
Can you guess, Kayla, what was our cheapest country so far? We've done that. This is number 11.
Peru?
No.
Argentina?
Argentina. So Argentina, we were there for a full month, so things were a little bit cheaper. We kind of stayed put. So all in all, Argentina came in at $117 per day. India at $133.
Okay.
Just to talk a little bit through some of that, our accommodations, the total was about $564 for 2 weeks. We did use points in some areas, so that did help us quite a bit. We also didn't do a lot of excursioning activities. We only did 2. We spent a total of $85. We spent $70 on the Taj Mahal package, which was Taj Mahal, Baby Taj, and the Agra Fort. And then we spent a total of about $16 going to the park in Mumbai, which had Canary Caves and stuff like that. Again, all in all, about $85 was our spend, or
Okay,
86,
not bad.
give or take. We did spend a lot on flights. We spent about $500 getting into Delhi, about another $185 getting to Mumbai, and then another $125 getting to Goa. So not a lot. The big one was obviously getting into India itself from Jordan. Our food was cheap. Our food was kind of back to what we had liked, but there were some areas that was a little bit pricier, and I think we realized it. We'll talk a bit about that more in detail. We did spend just a little bit on shopping. Our transportation was about $180, so that's the train that we took into Agra, all of the Ubers and tuktuks and everything we did. So that was our main means of transportation. We do have $180 under other. $80 of that was the airport lounge on our way out. $11 of that was our laundry, the train station lounge, and our visa. So it cost us just a little over 72 Canadian to get our Indian visas. We had to apply separately, so it was about $36 each. And I guess that would actually be a good time to talk about that process real quick. It was an e-visa application.
Yeah.
We did that online. We got a response probably within 3 days.
2 days, like not even. It was very, very fast for India.
Yeah, they ask a lot of questions on their form, but nothing too concerning. Based on what we read, the biggest concerns were obviously if you'd been somewhere that there may be some conflict and stuff like that.
Or if you work for the military or the police in your home country might also be an issue.
Right.
But the 2 things that they require from you as far as other things outside of answering questions, they do need a copy of the photo page of your passport, and they do need a new picture of you on a white backdrop.
Yeah.
So Andrew does have some visa photos floating around in his passports, but for this one we actually were able to take some photos in our hotel. We found a blank wall, good lighting, and we made sure that we had neutral expressions and
neutral colors too.
Neutral
like it was
colors
just
as well.
We didn't do any patterns or
yeah,
anything.
shoulders covered.
Yeah.
Other than that, like that's all they required on top of filling out the form and paying the price. Yeah.
So all in all, financially, it was one of our better countries. And I think we were a little surprised in some areas where it was a little bit pricier, and others where we recognized that it was a little bit cheaper. So I guess let's dive into where we stayed next.
Great. Now, as we mentioned, we were in India for 2 weeks, and we went to 3 different locations, and technically a 4th. Because we flew into Delhi. So upon flying into Delhi, we immediately went to the train station where we grabbed a train from Delhi to Agra. Agra is the city which holds the Taj Mahal, as well as a lot of other monuments that you can go and see. The reason why we decided to do that was because Andrew had already done some time in Delhi and we wanted to spend more time in other places.
Based on some of the stuff that we had seen in Delhi and my experience there was no direct need for us to return to Delhi. The only reason we even went to Agra was because we really wanted to go see the Taj Mahal, or at least Kayla hadn't gone.
Yeah.
So the one call out is we did spend an overnight in our travels, because we did spend a night kind of in the Turkish airport and then slightly, I guess, in the flight to
it was
Delhi.
a red eye. Our first accommodation for the trip was done on points. So we stayed at a Marriott property. We stayed at the ITC Mughal.
It's a part of their luxury collective, so it is a little bit of a higher end, but points-wise, like, it was kind of on par with what we've paid elsewhere. So that was kind of nice. It was about 33,000 points for 2 nights, which if you've ever done a points-based stay with Marriott, most places are like 14 to 18,000 for like their lower end.
It had a pool, it had several restaurants on site, it had a bar. Like I said, that was paid on points. That was a great stay. We stayed for 2 nights at that location before taking a flight from Agra all the way to Mumbai. And in Mumbai, we stayed at one location for 4 nights. We were in a Airbnb.
This was an Airbnb that was an apartment building. It was a little bit off the beaten path. We were a little bit inside the trees of, like, it was kind of like tucked away close to the national park.
Yeah. It was great. It was very relaxing, had really good Wi-Fi for working and things like that. It was a smaller space. It was a studio, but we did have a kitchen and we did have a washer. After that, we took a flight from Mumbai to Goa, and in Goa, we stayed at, we tried to stay at a place that we booked on booking.com. We felt a little uncomfortable. We felt like there was a communication barrier that we just couldn't get over. Put that with the fact that they didn't know we were coming, and we just decided to cut our losses and go. Because of that, we decided to use some more Marriott points and find a location for 2 days so that we could kind of like get our bearings in Goa. So we stayed at the Fairfield, the Marriott Fairfield, near Anhuna Beach. We stayed there for 2 nights. It was a nice little property. It was similar to the last one where it had a pool on site, it had a couple restaurants, it had a bar, and it was in a fairly decent area. There were restaurants around, which were great.
So it was 19,000 points plus $90 for the 2-night stay.
As we were getting our bearings there, we decided to get ourselves into an actual hostel for the rest of our trip. We wanted to be in a place that was a little bit more social, had a little bit more communal space, and so we went for a walk to kind of see what was around. It was low season. It is the end of monsoon season, so everything is kind of a little more chill. There's a lot of things that are closed and under renovation, but there were also a lot of things that were open and had plenty of space. Yeah. The place that we decided to stay at was Woopers, and Woopers actually has 2 properties. They're right across the road from each other. One of them is the Woopers Hostel, and that one is all communal space, all mixed dorm rooms. And we decided we didn't really want to do that. So we stayed at Woopers Boutique Hotel, which is across the road. And it had private rooms as well as some hostel dorm rooms.
There was a pool there. There was a restaurant on site. There was a bar on site.
But Woopers was fabulous. The price that we paid there, it was a little cheaper for us on booking.com because I am a valued member. I don't remember, level 3. So I do get a discount on Booking, which is why we decided to go that route, because it was a little bit more expensive on their website. I'm sure that if we had gone to the property and asked them to give us a deal, they may have done that as well.
Yeah, it was about $250 for 5 nights. India was our second cheapest accommodation per day. So our cheapest was obviously Argentina. That was about a little over $30 a night. This one was just over $40 per night, but that's because we had 4 nights free with those points.
We definitely could have done cheaper if we had decided to do things like dorm rooms.
Yeah.
But I think after our experience showing up at the first hostel and just not feeling comfortable, we were a little bit more wary of how we wanted to stay in our own space.
Yeah. That is where we stayed. Let's talk now about our favorites.
Okay. As we mentioned, we were in India for 2 weeks. We visited 3 different cities. So there's a lot of experiences that we had. So Andrew, what was your favorite activity that we did?
I would say the Taj Mahal for the obvious reasons. I think it was really beautiful and I thought it was really cool to be able to go back there. When I was there, it was under renovation. It was obviously open, but there's parts of it that had like scaffolding. So to see it fully up close and kind of like remember all of that stuff was really cool. But I would say that our time doing the Kanhari Caves would probably be not a close second, but would be kind of that second place. So that would be mine. What about you?
I think that I would echo that exact sentiment. Taj Mahal was number one, followed by the caves. I was not expecting it whatsoever. It reminded me a lot of Petra because these temples and gathering spaces and things like that were just built right into this rock side. It was like a mix between Petra and what I imagine like the Hobbit town.
The Shire.
Yeah, the Shire.
I will say one of the things that did surprise us was the Agra fort. There was a lot of beautiful rooms in it. It was huge. It took us probably about 2 hours kind of, I think, to walk through it all, but it was worth it. We did do Baby Taj, which was okay. It was it felt really odd because it was like obviously much smaller. There was like nobody there. There's more people working than actually visiting.
Yeah.
But I think the Agra fort was really, really cool, and there was a lot of beautiful aspects of it. So definitely a recommendation if you are in Agra.
Yeah.
One of the best things about India is the food, and we ate a lot there.
Oh, God.
Do you have a favorite dish or meal?
I did eat so many good curries. One of my favorites was definitely the lababdar. It was a cashew-based, creamy, spicy.
I was actually just reading up on it because I guess people compare it to like a butter chicken, but like nuttier because of the cashews.
Another dish that I absolutely loved was the parathas, which we had for breakfast. We had them a couple different times and we had a couple different flavors, but I think just the regular paratha, aloo paratha, was like my favorite. It was spices, potatoes, onions inside this bread.
The other thing too is we also recognized that there was a like northern and southern, and like there was different stuff. So like Kayla really likes paneer palak, and that's typically more of a northern one, so we didn't see it as much. When we went to Goa, we got some also different like Goan curries, which were really good.
Yep.
Food-wise, we probably could do a whole show on just that, and that was definitely the best part.
It's definitely like on the list, the top of my like favorite foods that we've eaten this year list.
Yeah. Kayla, in terms of, I guess, city, when you look at like Agra, Goa, Mumbai, favorite, least favorite?
I think Agra is one of those places where you go because of the Taj Mahal, but I don't really think that I loved anything else about it.
Fair.
I felt like the people there, because it is a very touristy place, they're a little bit more pushy when it comes to like take a ride with me, get in my tuk-tuk, things like that. And I just wasn't a huge fan of that.
Yeah.
I loved Mumbai. I loved where we were, and I loved how easy getting around the city was. It was a lot bigger, and we didn't have a ton of time there, so we didn't get to see a ton. But I think that I would definitely go back to Mumbai.
If I had to go back to India, it would be Mumbai. Like, obviously, I love Goa, so like we'll talk about that. But I mean, like, I don't need to do Delhi. I don't need to do Agra. I know there's other areas, especially on the east, that we never really touched. But yeah, I would say Mumbai I could go back to and stay more in like city center and check it out.
And I did really like Goa too, and we planned Goa as a vacation week. Andrew wasn't working, I wasn't working, so we took a lot of time to just hang out, watch the waves, drink some beer, and it was just a really nice, relaxing place to be.
Yeah.
I think if you are planning on going to Goa, definitely plan on a lot of walking, or stay in a place where you won't have to go very far to get the things that you want.
Yeah, or you can rent a moped or something like that. Yeah. Like there's options as well, for sure.
What was your favorite day? Do you have a favorite day?
I think there's a couple days in Goa that I really, really liked that were just kind of like sitting by the water, having drinks. You know, we would have like a pitcher of beer or grab some Kingfishers.
Yeah, we'd go to Lilliput Cafe was one of the ones that
Lilliput
we went to
was really
twice.
good.
I think a lot of the Goa days kind of blend together for me.
Fair.
I think hanging out, watching the water is one of my favorite things. We did have some really good weather days. There were never any like torrential downpours while we were out.
No, 2017 when I went, it was like it would start at 11 a.m. and that would be for the rest of the day. Like it would keep going. And this was like you get 5 minutes and
good weather. I really liked it. I think this is like a big note for everyone. If you're going to any of these places, Google Maps is not updated regularly. So I think one of the best ways to kind of figure out where you want to eat is to kind of just walk around.
Yeah.
Because we were going to go to Jerry's Kitchen.
Yeah.
And Jerry's Kitchen was closed, but it said on Google Maps that it was open. And right across the street from it was Little Bites that said it was closed on Google Maps, but actually was open. I encourage you, if you are going to any of these places and you see that the status is different than what it is in real life, change it on Google. Put in that recommendation to change it.
India is definitely a cash country. Certainly they've evolved in terms of, like we mentioned, Google Pay. Some places take card. But some of the great restaurants are these small mom and pop shops that are cash only for the most part. One of the issues we ran into Goa was there's no ATMs for 2 kilometers around us, so it's a little bit tricky.
I think Andrew was a little hesitant to want to go back to India.
I had stress. I had some PTSD, might be a bit of a harsh word, but I had some anxiety about India. I still do, and I think there was stuff that helped but also added to it, so it's a tricky thing with India. I have a love-hate relationship. Love the food. The food doesn't always love me. Again, the people is like, there's some people there that I was like, you are great people. I love, what you do, and there's other people that I'm like, just give me my space, and it's just not a thing.
All right, any final thoughts?
No, but I want to know how you're going to score this one.
I think a 7 is a pretty good one. I love the food. I love most of the places that we went to. There are some places where I do not need to return. There are some places that I would like to return and do a little bit more exploring. So yeah, I think I'm going to go with a 7. What about you?
After having been to India twice, I have no appetite of returning. So from a returnability standpoint, I think it's like a 10-year wait kind of thing. Would I recommend it to people? No, not people I like.
Wow.
I don't know if I could say to someone that I care deeply about, go to India and not say, be aware of this, consider
I think I have those for every country.
That's fair. I feel, again, this is where I feel bad, but I feel like I have like some kind of like PTSD anxiety of like my time in India from like the last 2 times. I'm going to score it a 4.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I feel bad saying it because it's probably the country with the best food we've been to, and I don't want to belittle that. I think the food alone would be worth the trip. Taj Mahal would be worth the trip. If someone was like, Andrew, I could go anywhere in the world, where would you recommend? I don't think I would put India close to the top for me. I think I've been too kind to some of the other countries, and I think I think
stay tuned for the end of the year when Andrew redoes all of his stats. But thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
And we'll see you again next time. Next week we'll be back to a normal vlog, and we will be in Singapore. So
join us for that.
Bye.
Bye.